evening and welcome to the 5th edition of the Goodwin Boxing TV programme. This week we've got a very stacked card of people. I'm just going to get it up live on my screen now so we can get you interactions from at home. We've got next to me John McCallum, who's travelled all the way down from Scotland, super-middleweight boxer. Next to him, the main man Steve. On my left we've got Dalton Miller. Somewhere I'm getting feel like it's me. Professional as ever. Next we've got Dalton Miller, super middleweight as well. And then on the end we have Karina Hercock, who is a super fan of boxing, golf, snooker, you name it, and she'll be there. It's so we're going to come on to everyone in their own time. You may be wondering why we've got John and Dalton either side of me. I get to be the lucky one who sits here, as they're going to be fighting each other in July. And hopefully not tonight. So we're going to move over and start off straight away, as always, with Steve and talking about what's happened this week in the world of Goodwin Boxing.
Well, we haven't got any new title fights to announce as yet. We've got a few things to sort out this week. I'm at the boxing board tomorrow. We have 6 new signings. I know it sounds crazy, but I've got 6 new boxers up for their licences. Ricky Askew, James Biddlecombe, Sean Earls, Ryan French, Ricky Heavens and Jules Phillips. All of them will be making their debuts September onwards. 4 of them are home fighters, 2 are going to be journeymen, but the point is whether you're a home fighter or a journeyman, my job's to look after everybody, but it's great that so many young men are putting their faith in us. I think we'll have a lot more news to reveal next week, although I won't be here because I'm away in Turkey. Somebody else, maybe Joshua Kevin will reveal it, and the week after, but at the end of the day we're building up now to the Michael Ballinghall 9th of July fight at Portsmouth and the 16th of July at York Hall. But we're signing boxers and they're still coming, so it's working very well. But I was down at Liverpool at the weekend to the Bellew fight, so I spent our time there. We did have a journeyman fighting on there, Gavel Ballog. What I would say from that is the guy that he brought, Scott Fitzgerald, is going to be a big star of boxing. Yeah, really, real top-notch kid, and I was so impressed. I think without a doubt he's going to be a really good middleweight in the future. Okay. That's the name everybody should remember, Scott Fitzgerald.
Okay. So although it's been a quiet week, it's still not a quiet week for most.
No, exactly.
So Tracy Smithers is saying feeder's frozen, so hopefully it's resolved itself. Robin Deacon, Steve, your shit is loud. I assume you mean shirt. Let's hope. Yeah, Stevie Kerr, go Team McCallum. I assume you know Stevie. Andrew Joyce, question for John. We'll come on to that at some point when we come to interview John from Dean Riley. So, as you mentioned about Bellew, seems a good way to mention about his fight from the weekend. Who saw it?
I didn't see it.
No, you see it, John?
No.
Yeah, what do you reckon?
He got the job done. Knocked him spark out.
Yeah.
And done it in style as well.
Yeah. So I mean, there was a lot made of Makabu. I mean, last week we previewed it, and you know, there's a lot made of him as a threat, favourite going into the fight.
He was definitely a threat. I'd tell you, on his backside in the first round, but Tony done what he done. Got up and knocked him spark out. So.
Were you surprised? I mean, I was surprised. He hit that straight left in the first round, knocks him, you know, the flash knockdown, but still put him down. And then he didn't throw it again for the remainder of, you know, what's a short fight after that.
Kind of went in a shell, but I let Tony pick him off again. Tony gained a bit of confidence and got the job done.
Yeah.
Well, also, I saw McCallum on the morning after the fight. I was talking to his team. Their version, whether it's true or not, is that in the second round he was limping. I did see him walk to the car. He couldn't walk properly.
Right.
And they said that in the second round he badly hurt his ankle and he was unable to set for the left hand.
Okay.
And that's what they actually
said.
said.
So he kept jabbing all the way through.
Yeah. So they said that the reason that he went like that was because he got injured in the second, and he said that apparently, this is what I was told, that the boxer at the end of the second round said to his corner, "Pull me out." Now, I don't know if that's an excuse or true, but that's what they were all there together, and that's what they told me, because I know one of them. Yeah. And they said that was the reason that he never threw it again, because he couldn't set off and throw it. So.
Okay. And then on the Saturday night up in Scotland, we had Ricky Burns, who picked up his 3rd weight category world title. Karina, did you catch up with Ricky and he's fighting Michelle De Rocco.
No, I didn't see it. And usually for me, I didn't actually watch either fight live this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. Well.
Okay. Dalton, any?
No fights at all.
No? Jesus. Tune into another channel.
I watched it.
Yeah. I was going to say, I was trying to avoid being too Scottish, but what about you, John? With, your fellow countrymen?
Nah, it's a proud moment for Ricky. It's good for Scottish boxing.
Yeah.
It's good for British boxing as well.
Yeah.
3-weight division world champion, so
Yeah.
hopefully he can go on and fight big names like Adrian Broner and some of the other big guys.
Yeah.
Maybe a rematch with Omar.
Avoid Crawford.
Maybe avoid Crawford.
But yeah, no, I think it's an impressive feat to be 3-weight world. I mean, it's arguable quite how much of a world championship it is, I suppose, on the basis that De Rocco he's nowhere near kind of in theory world level. But still, you can't take it away from Burns for going out and winning.
Well, Ricky's had fights on the road as well. He went to America to fight Omar, so you've got an opportunity back in Glasgow and long may it continue. Big shows in Scotland. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Does it help out with Scottish boxing? Raise the profile, get more people into gyms?
Definitely. And it gives a lot of guys chances to get on the undercard. Like even, hopefully I'll get on the undercard as well.
Yeah.
On one of his next shows. So.
I noticed Charlie Flynn was on the undercard as well for that, and I saw him win his gold at the Commonwealth Games, so he's one only to watch who's progressing up the ladder now. Yeah. So
Okay. Right, excellent. Keep an eye out for Charlie.
Yeah.
There wasn't really a lot else. I mean, given the rest of the undercards were pretty weak, really, weren't they, for both shows? Which
I feel I did think on the Burns undercard, I thought that cruiserweight Tommy McCarthy looked really good
against John Lewis Dickinson.
I mean, for an 8-fight novice, I've always been told good things about McCarthy, but half the time you're told things, you look at them, but I'll say he's decent, really decent, and he could go quite a good way in the cruiserweight division. I thought he was the star of the weekend, really, of the up and comings.
Yeah. I thought Tyrone Nurse did well. Willie Limond is past his best, isn't he? Is at one point.
If Tyrone could punch, he'd be a superstar.
Yeah, I was chatting with somebody yesterday. He's like a Tesco value Mayweather, isn't he? He's got all the skills, but just not quite good enough.
To be fair. He's still a great boxer, isn't he? But
no, absolutely.
Just a shame for him he can't punch, because if he could punch, he'd be a superstar.
Yeah. All right, so let's have a few of the interactions that we've got so far. Dave, Boise, Angeletta, Andrew Joycey for the win on 16th of July at York Hall. He's got Sahal Ahmed, hasn't he?
Not Andrew Joycey.
No, Joycey, sorry.
He's fighting Jack Green.
Yeah, okay.
Billy Parker.
Billy Parker. So he's fighting the 2-1 kid, Billy Parker,
Yeah, okay. Dean Riley, question for John. John, hope to one day emulate the successes of other Scottish boxers like Kenny Anderson, Alex Arthur and Stephen Simmons?
Definitely.
I mean,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Kenny Anderson won the British Super-Middleweight title, and that's what I'm aiming for, so.
Okay.
Absolutely.
CJ Bearden, Dalton, what round? We'll come on to that one later. RJ's Gym, who of course you're very close with, training with RJ. Dalton Miller, one dangerous operator now, happy and living the life, watch his space. Yeah. Chaz Simmons, Steve is a true man. I've been with the best, but Steve wins hands down. He wants what's best for you and gets you the opportunities that he says from the start when you sign him.
Thanks, Chaz, top man. Thank you for that. It's really nice though when a boxer that you've looked after comes back and says something like that. It's really nice.
Yeah.
I'd second that as well for how, sort of thing, as somebody who watches a lot of boxing now, I've been treated by everybody at Goodwin. It's been fantastic, and I like the fact that I've got thanks on Facebook and everything for actually coming down. So I'd second what Chaz has said there, definitely.
Excellent.
I had one coming for the Goodwin Boxing one from JP Smith. Hi Steve, given the fantastic result from Liverpool, do you think Billy will be able to make the step up and fight some of the big names and possibly the biggest name about? I'm talking, of course, about Joe Fournier.
I think Billy should avoid him at all costs and move on. Maybe it's good management, and I think management have done a good job. And to be honest, if they offer Joe Fournier, I think they'll pay money to get Fournier to step aside.
Did anyone see Joe Fournier's tweet, by the way?
No, it wasn't.
He said, no. It said Bellew calling out David Hay is about as wise as me calling out Bellew.
Okay, do you know what? That's humorous.
Yeah.
Full credit to Joe for that.
Max Budgeon, Callum Smith was very poor, loaded up too much and started to bleed.
Do you know what?
High
He was terrible. Callum Smith was terrible.
Yeah.
I thought on that performance, he doesn't beat the Gow, he doesn't beat Grimes. I've really been impressed with Callum Smith. But this guy could take the shots, and he was his timing was out. I thought it was a really poor performance, and maybe he may not be as good as everybody thinks.
Yeah, a bit of an exposure.
I thought it was really poor. It may have just been an off night, but you know the guy was able to take the punches, and he kept coming back at him. I thought he was really poor card.
Yeah. Tracy Smith has agreed with Steve there about Tommy, so you guys didn't rate any of the Goodison undercard. No, it was crap. So, Jonathan Ogilvie, first round KO McCallum. There you go. I'm bouncing the books out here. I don't want to get the chin by either of you. So we're going to preview now what's coming up this week. So it's a fairly quiet week, highlighted by the fact that the best thing to talk about is Liam Smith versus Pedrag, someone or other, Radoncic.
If ever there's a weekend to go away for the week and do some fishing, this is the weekend.
Yeah, I mean it's a crap card. It's like not even the main event being.
I think we're very fair. It doesn't matter whether it's a matchroom card or anybody else's cards, and even some of our cards. Sometimes you can look down and say it's not a very good card. I mean, looking at this weekend, I think it's really shocking.
Yeah. I mean, to me, like as a fan of boxing, I think it highlights the fact that world titles are a joke at times. Like this Predrag Radoncic, whatever his name is, was he ranked 54th, I think, in the world, fighting for a world title. So
I think world titles have degenerated. I mean, you can't blame Queensbury Promotions for getting the easiest opportunity for them. So if you can't blame Eddie Hearn for getting the Rocco for Ricky Burns, I mean, neither are world title, but that's just the way the business rolls now. But the ones that are interested, obviously, you know, we're as boxing fans. I think boxing fans understand the difference.
Yeah. Stuart Howe, Steve is a top man. So is Kev. Jesus Christ, the egos will be going. Kev sat
very intelligent man, that Stuart Howe.
As a coach, they've been helpful. As a fan, they've been awesome. Deserve all the success they're getting.
Cheers, Stuart.
Wally Camacho, yeah, buddy. His sole input. Go on, Wally. RJ's Jim. Callum's a real deal. Didn't seem up for the fight. He needs big fights. So, you know, he's in line for Baddy Jack now, isn't he?
Yeah, so, I mean, listen, it may just be that, but it needs to be that. It needs to be that.
Daniel Love, Team RJ's Jim. Dalton has got this in the bag. Stevie Kerr, congrats Steve Goodwin on making this live show. John will knock Miller out in the 4th round. London, here we come, Team McCallum. So, one for each of you. I'm not counting these up for the show, by the way.
We'll take it over.
Max Budgeon, yeah, I'll feel out some of that. But when did Warren last put on a world-class bill? To be fair, I'm going to say the one up in Liverpool, where he had Andy Lee, Billy Joe Saunders, and Liam Smith, Jimmy Kelly, which was a pretty cool fight. Like, at least Lee Saunders. Plus, he's involved with the Klitschko Fury fight. So
the broadcast is not involved, is he?
I don't know. I know Hennessy's the promoter. Is he?
Technically, I think the broadcast, don't they? But all confusing.
We'll give him some credit, but I don't mind giving him money. CJ Bearden, put the purses on the line. Well, we'll let you boys decide that. Alright, leave it out, lads. We'll come to your... right, we have a look at some of the bets of the week. So we'll reveal our league table, where I slip. You can't slip further down from bottom, but I can slip further behind. Josh is the only one with a positive number next to his name, £170 in cumulative profit to date. Kevin and Steve, £140 down. I've nearly doubled that. So ignore everything I ever say. So from last week, Kev had Makubu by KO, which was wrong. Josh went safe with Tyrone Nurse win at 4-11, which came off. Apparently, I've gone with Burns on Pets, according to Kev's printout. That sounds like
a hell of a bet.
Sexual video I'm never going to watch. And Steve had gone with Makubu win 4-6. So Josh was again the only one to come off. So this week,
too easy.
Kev's gone with Francisco Vargas to win 4-11 against Orlando Salido, isn't it? I think. Yeah. I've gone with Ryan Farag to win 4-9 with Paddy Power, which Josh has done the same, and Steve has gone with James Dickens to win, which I think that fight's off now.
No, I've gone with
Oh no, you went with Paul Butler, didn't you?
Paul Butler,
Sorry,
Paul
I
Butler.
scribbled out that bit.
2 to 13, yeah. Listen, it's not a betting weekend, so you've got to pick something on it. So.
Yeah, just don't follow mine.
JP Smith on adding that right has put Martin, only you could make a massive loss on an imaginary bet.
Yeah, he's all mouth, isn't he? Right, so let's go back. Darren Dillon, what do you feel was the last fight night worthy of a pay-per-view? Go on, we'll chuck that out. Dalton, your way. What do you consider as a boxer the last big fight worthy of pay-per-view?
Mate, there's not many out there. I can't really think of one at the minute that I would say, yeah, definitely that's worth paying for, as worth putting out there.
Yeah.
Not in the fight at the minute, no.
Okay. What do you reckon, Karina, as a fan?
Well, I know a lot of people say the Joshua fight wasn't worthy of pay-per-view because of the main fight, but then you've got 2 other world title fights on the bill as well. So, to me, and obviously being South Yorkshire, I was particularly interested in the Jamie McDonald one. So, to me, when you've got a bill with 3 world title fights on it, then it's worthy of pay-per-view. Not saying every Joshua fight or anything is, but
I think the disappointing one with that, the Jamie McDonald one was thrown together at a week's notice, wasn't it? But like, if you're a fan looking to pay, you really want to see him beat up a Mexican.
Would you not also argue that when you're paying subscription for Sky Sports, you've got to pay extra on top already, which is a bit. I mean, that's a sticking point for a lot of people.
Throw it out to the interactions. Martin asked if it's.
Alright, so anyone out there, give us your views on what the last pay-per-view worthy card, in your opinion, was. Alright, so Tracy Smithers, I think it's fair to say they are, Steve and Kevin, popular with fighters. Not Josh, by the way, I'm just going to mention that. Popular with fighters and fans because they believe in grassroots boxing and nurturing exciting fighters. Take the compliments. There you go.
Tracy's lovely lady. She's a real good boxing fan as well. So.
Again, very intelligent.
She just doesn't know Kev. She just doesn't know you very well.
Bronx Jim, where does the winner of this fight go next? We'll ask that when we come on to James. What's John's plan for the next 12 months? We'll go that. Daniel Woodgate, honestly don't think Box Nation is worth a tenner a month, even for hardened boxing fans. It was excellent when it started, but it's gone downhill big time.
I agree.
You need to start putting on small hall shows. It says Seymour, but I'm not going to click that.
I mean, there's an issue you don't know. I don't think, without criticising anybody, you don't know what their budget is, how many subscribers they've really got. I am surprised they aren't putting on more shows, more smaller shows. I mean, Queen's been out promoting at York Hall next, where they're doing a Thursday and Friday, but they're only showing the Friday, not the Thursday. I'm not really sure how their model's going for that. They are showing the abroad fights, but I think most people in Britain, when you pay, you want to see British boxers fighting British boxers. I mean, I know that I prefer that than the stuff from the US. But,
yeah,
you know.
No, I agree. All right, so we're going to go on now, and we're going to start off by talking with Dalton. So, how we doing? So, Dalton Miller, super middleweight. Tell us a little bit about your background and where you've come from. I mean, ex-army.
Yeah. Well, that's where I started boxing, really, in the army. Turned up, sergeant just decided you're boxing. I said okay, and that was the end of that. But yeah, left the army, potted about a little bit. Never really had nothing settled. Moved from place to place till I found an amateur boxing gym. Start going there, and then just fell in love all over again.
Yeah.
And just kept going from there. Turned professional. Thought, yeah, I've made it. Didn't really settle down too well. Made some bad choices. Made some bad decisions. And had a little break. And then spoke to Steve. He just basically re-energized me, put me back out there, and I'm ready to go.
So you're training now with Rod Julian?
Yeah. Training's going fantastic. Really good camp, really good team. So I'm quite grateful. I met Rod, and we've been working well together, and the team is fantastic.
Alright, so you're talking about your good camp. Obviously, that's alluding to your fight with this man here, John McCallum, coming up in July. So, I mean, you recently were out against Jesse Goodan-Tate.
Yeah.
Tell us about that fight.
Well, I was prepared. I was prepared mentally, physically. I went in there wanting a bit more than what he gave me, but I was there to do a job, and I went in there with the mindset to do a job, and I went out and did what I did because I was trained for it, I'm ready for it, and he wasn't ready on the night.
Yeah, and you stopped him.
I stopped in the first round. Couldn't really take the body shots, I don't believe. So yeah, didn't go on from there.
So how much? I mean, that was a warm-up fight to an extent for the fight with John coming up. Did you get out of it what you wanted, or would you rather it had gone a few more rounds?
You know what? I've never I never praised myself too much, because you always want to see what you put in training. You always want a result. So for me, it's a double-edged sword, that one, because you can say, yeah, I got good things out of it because I stopped him, but at the other end, I didn't go through the round. Maybe I wanted to do some more rounds, So it's a double-edged sword.
All right, so you've got the British Challenge belt on the line. So I mean, is that your first title that you fought for?
Yeah, it will be my first title that I'm gonna get.
Yeah. So how confident are you then? Obviously, we're going to get the other side of it from John shortly. If you're wondering why I don't ask too many contentious questions, A, I'm sat between them, and B, we've got a head-to-head to do later. So we're just going to tickle them now, and then go in harder later. So how confident are you then? I mean, how much have you seen of John in the past?
I've seen a few of his fights. As I said, I'm prepared. I've trained hard. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to the 16th.
So have you based your training upon John, or have you based it upon your strengths?
I train for me. At the end of the day, that's the opponent's problem. Yeah. I take what I need to take in the ring, and that's it.
Yeah. All right. And you're feeling ready then?
I'm good to go, man. Brand new.
Brand new.
Brand new.
So there we go. What have we got here? Ricky Webster. Dalton Miller is a powerful man. He's going to take some stopping.
This man knows his stuff.
Yeah, enough said. So yeah, if you've got any questions for Dalton, do fire them at us, and we're going to come back to Dalton shortly. In the meantime, we're going to come over to Karina. So, Karina, talk to. I mean, you have a massive sports fascination, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's correct.
So, where did it start? What's the boxing influence for you?
My late father was a journalist and a sports journalist for a lot of his working career, and he took me to sport from 11-year-old. So I've just been brought up watching sport, really. But boxing was our sport that he wasn't interested in one bit. So
how have you ended up?
Well, I went with a friend to the first Kelbrook Carson Jones fight in Sheffield.
The one that he struggled in.
Yeah. And then I just got the bug. I was hooked after that. And then I started going to fights in more like Yorkshire area and things like that. I got to know promoters, went to some local fights, and then started networking on this wonderful forum, Facebook, and then I started talking to promoters and boxers and things down south. That's how I kind of got to know Steve, and then came to York Hall about a year and a half ago, and absolutely love York Hall now. Can't get enough of it. Brilliant venue, absolutely fantastic, and I probably go to a fight a week, maybe 2 fights a week. Absolutely love it. Love the sport. The people are great. I talk to lots of boxers on Facebook, and we have chat, banter, everything like that. So it's like I said, I can't thank Steve, Kevin, Josh, Olivia, Trisha, everybody. They've all really, really looked after me when I've been down at York Hall, and and things like that. And I've got to know a lot of promoters and things like that. And I just love going to watch the shows. It's great.
So it's not just boxing, is it? I mean, I see that you're at the snooker, you're at the golf.
Yeah. Well, considering I hated boxing up to about 4 years ago, it's now my joint favourite sport with snooker. So yeah, it's pretty good, really. But I just love my sport. It's what I spend most of my weekends doing it. But wouldn't change it for anything now. Absolutely love it. I mean, the weekend. Unusually for me at the weekend, I didn't actually go to any boxing. It was golf, football, and snooker. So it's unusual for me.
You're a Wednesday fan, aren't you? It wasn't a great
Unfortunately,
weekend.
So yes, yeah.
Long trip to Wembley and a long
Very
trip
disappointing,
home.
yeah. But hey.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you do Monday to Friday then, right? When you're not out watching all the sports?
I work for the civil service, and I deal with complaints from things like MPs and things like that.
Oh, lovely.
Complaints, yeah. So
So in a world
complaining people all day long.
In a world that might be full of corruption, you then go and watch boxing.
Well, exactly, yeah.
Like
yeah, yeah. The one thing is though, is that like, you know, obviously with the EU referendum and everything coming up and other things, is that because I work for the civil service, I can't comment on anything political. I'd look, because like that debate, those 2 debates last week on the EU, I'd love to be able to comment on it. And you know, for example, like when I was at the Olympics, I was stood at the finishing line of the men's road race with Boris Johnson, having a beer with Boris Johnson and things, and I'd love to be able to... That's a real shame for you. I know, exactly, yeah. I'd love to be able to comment on things like that, but I can't because of my job. We've got to be totally impartial.
Yeah. So, Daniel Love, nice to see Karina on there, brilliant boxing guru.
Thank you, Daniel.
RJ's Gym, great to have you on there, Karina, book full of knowledge.
Thanks, Rod.
Ollie Patterson, Martin, did they do that shirt in a large? I have that from someone with that fucking hairstyle, man. Unbelievable.
Tracy Smithers on the Goodwin Box page, but Karina is a guru. She remembers details like no other woman I know.
Exactly, my wife, who remembers details of like when I forgot to put the washing out.
Yeah, but then I'll go to Asda and forget half my shopping list. So remember useless things and then not remember the useful things.
So I mean, how many, like, it's nearly every weekend I see you around, isn't it? Like, so that must be just a huge, you know, the enjoyment you must get out of that, to commit that much of your
I do. I love
every part of your life.
What I like doing as well is things like, you know, getting to talk to trainers and people like that who've been, you know, in the sport for a long time and watching the sport for a long time, because, I mean, I'm far from a technical expert by any means, and it's really useful to, you know, to talk to things like trainers and learn about the technical aspects of the sport as well. So, you know, that's really, really good as well. So, and I learn just from watching the fights and, you know, through reading people's reviews, like somebody like Brooke writes excellent reviews, and you yourself, obviously, your interviews and reviews and things, and obviously the reviews in the Boxing News and the Boxing Monthly and things like that, read all those. So I'm learning all the time. Yeah. So, you know, that's a good thing as well.
As a fan, what do you love most about boxing? Right, because there are various aspects I find, which is like the accessibility of fight, just the actual events themselves. I mean, what is it that's your kind of the main thing you get from it?
Well, I mean, it's obviously it's watching the sport, but I mean, I was just chatting to Dalton about this. I find, you know, like, boxers and boxing people very, very easy to talk to, very personable, very, very sociable, and you know, and I enjoy the chat and banter and things like that. I mean, that's what I mainly use like Facebook for. I use it for just chat and banter. You know, because having lost my dad last year, that was a very, very difficult time for me. But I found that like people in boxing have just been really, really nice, really supportive, and everything like that. And you know, watching sport is what keeps me going really. So as well as watching the sport, it's just, you know, going to the events and talking to people really as well, as much as anything, and you know, and I just really enjoy sort of watching it. Yeah.
I know one thing you do, which I would encourage all fans out there to do, is if you're going to an event, you buy the tickets from the boxers, don't you?
Yes, I do. Because because I've been working since I was 18-year-old. You know, I did my A-levels, left school and started working, so I understand what it's like to have to graft for a living. I know obviously a lot of the boxers that have just started out pro, a lot of them have to do a full-time job as well to combine the training, because just selling tickets or whatever isn't enough. And I know a lot of the guys that are just working their way up do personal training and building, scaffolding, etc., and then go and do the training after that. You know, somebody like Rakim, who starts really early on the railways and whatever, finishes at 2 and then goes and does his training after that. You know, I don't think enough people understand just how they think that everybody's loaded and got a lot of money. Well, if you've got to deal with Matchroom, obviously, then maybe you have, but it's very, very hard. 90% of
fighters have to grasp.
Yeah, exactly. yeah.
No, I agree completely.
So, who are you buying a ticket for? You know? Neither. I've already committed to somebody else actually. I'm afraid. Yeah. Spice it up.
Stevie Kerr, Karina would love to have a wee chat with you on your political views. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Stephen. Yeah.
Max Budgeon, don't start Steve on the bloody EU referendum. Yeah.
Give you a speech.
I've seen your Brexit stuff on Facebook. Michael Pert, wakey wakey. RJ's gym, wakey wakey.
It's a little slogan.
I assume it's a joke.
It's a little slogan. I can't voice that.
Eric McConzo, interesting fight this is. Would love to fight the winner. Brackets Dalton Miller. But this fat boy couldn't make 12 stone 3 to save his life. So you and Eric were due to fight. What have you got?
Yeah. Got cut.
Eric's light heavyweight. It's fine.
Right, so now we're going to come on to our man to the right, John. So you've made the long journey down today with delays and what have you, so thank you from Scotland. So there were a couple of questions. I'll see if I can't retrieve them. So if you've got any questions for John, fire them in whilst I talk to him, alright? I apologise, I can't find them from earlier on. Dan Lowe, Team McCallum all the way. There you go.
Sorry, Mike, just wanted to come in from Tracy Smith. It's a good thing to start. Bit controversial. Which round do these two fellas predict that they're going to take each other out in?
Right, before we crack on with John then and go in deeper, let's start Dalton. What round?
Well, I'm not a fortune teller. I don't predict things, so I know I'm going out there to box and I'm prepared. I'm prepared to go all the way. So whatever comes first, isn't it?
That's not a number. So tell me what round.
I said
no fence sitting. No fence sitting down.
Come on, man, you get splinters. We're not getting that done, are we? John, you're slightly more. What are you predicting?
Just depends how conditioned it is, how much you can take.
Yeah? So go on.
I don't know.
Go on, give us a number.
I think he'll go past 6 rounds.
Okay, under 6.
Yeah.
Right. So then, let's talk me through your background then, John, because you're still a young man, finding your way in the sport and where you're up to now.
Turned professional 6 years ago. I never got the start that I would liked through lots of injuries and promotional difficulties. But then I met Steve and I started doing boxing. I've had a few fights on the road, Newcastle, Sunderland, been to London a few times.
Yeah.
Was involved in a British Eliminator last year, which was decent. So I mean, I'm just trying to keep busy.
Yeah.
Keep the fights coming.
Is that difficult being in Scotland where there's less opportunities? Perhaps?
A lot of these fights are based on ticket sales as well, and you're trying to generate ticket sales. Alright, from Dalton, his mates just need to rock up to the York Hall.
Yeah.
I don't know how long a drive that is, but my mates have to get a plane and they find hotels in London.
Yeah.
It's basically a weekend away.
Yeah.
And it's costing a lot more than a £35 ticket, so
yeah.
It's a bit difficult trying to fight in London all the time, but I mean, we're always bringing a good crowd in. To be honest, the way this fight's going to go, I can see us taking over the York Hall anyway.
Do you reckon? How many are you looking at bringing down from Scotland, do you reckon?
Should bring at least a couple hundred.
Excellent.
But a couple hundred Scottish will take over a couple thousand English, so.
Well, they'll drink the bar dry, if nothing else, won't they?
So that'll be an entire EasyJet plane chart.
Dalton's going to think he's at Meadowbank, he's going to think he's in Edinburgh, so.
I don't travel the East Coast. Stay in Glasgow.
You're used to being on the road anyway, so. Just to clear one hang up as well, I'm not the opponent in this fight, he's the opponent. I picked him. Remo Scott pitched it, Scott Douglas pitched it. I didn't even know who the other guy is. So he got the shout. So that's why he's here. He's here because of me. Nice.
No worries, mate. You see on the night. We'll see on the night, mate.
Simple as that. He can say whatever he wants, be the local fighter for London, but he's the B-side to this
Alright, mate.
And he'll be the B-side coming out. I don't know what round I'll knock him out, but I will knock him out.
So, guys, you moved up from light middle, didn't you, initially?
I initially started my career, I took my debut at like 2 weeks' notice. So I think I was like light heavy, but then I started training full time. I managed to get all the way down to welterweight.
Oh, right, okay.
So I was fighting in welter and light middle, and I'm just sort of gradually grew back up.
Yeah, so is that through age as well, do you think? As you're growing into
maturing as well.
Yeah, okay, so as you said, you had the British title eliminator at your call last year with Leon. There's a fight you lost through controversial circumstances. So tell us about that then, in terms of how was it for you? It was a big night, it was a massive night of boxing.
Big night, it was a good night. We built the fight up, we had a good head-to-head beforehand.
Yeah, that's one way.
Took it in context, let's be honest. Leon played his violin, but it sold the fight. And to be honest, like I went in the fight and I was winning the fight, and then there was a clash of heads in the first round that never got picked up by my cornerman. It ended up getting worse for the duration of the fight. After 6 rounds, my cornerman panicked. He couldn't stop the blood from going in my eye. He told the referee stopped the fight.
Okay.
It wasn't my decision to stop the fight because, to be honest, after I take care of this bum, I want Leon next. I want to finish what we started. So, Leon, if you're watching, you probably are. Let's finish what we started. Fight never came to a conclusion. Let's do it. If you're happy with that, then go on and retire. But I certainly wouldn't be happy with that. If the shoe was on the other foot, I'd come back and fight you.
You couldn't even get past Leon. You think you're going to get past me?
So
you couldn't get past Leon. Look at your record.
Don't worry about the record. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, you've knocked out as a bum.
Well, you'll see when you're on your bum.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do now if you want.
Listen, I got an issue, bro.
We can do it now.
Whoa, John.
It's a talky, mate.
You talk the talk.
Just make sure you keep your hands to yourself, because it's not that kind of party, mate.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye. Look, if you think you're rocking up to a champagne party with lemonade wages, you're on a level, son.
Yeah.
Aye.
Listen, mate. This is not Edinburgh. This is not Edinburgh, mate.
I'm not Edinburgh. It's quite clearly we're in Bedfordshire.
Alright. Don't worry about that, man.
Geography aside,
this bomb's getting taken care of. Simple as that.
I only pointed Dalton, not me, right? I ain't involved in this. Right, so.
I'd just like to add, Marino, you're 2-0, so you're actually holding a good record there, so you could be pitched.
I'm 2-0. I mean, I don't want to sit and spike this up, but I'm the undefeated one on this team.
Can I just say, I was saying as well, some of the other things you're saying I like. I do like to see this sort of thing and build up to a fight, rather than just have a boring sort of thing and it just goes the way and in the press conference. I think it's all good for selling fights and for going having a bit of needle like this. I like it. I think it's good now and again.
From a fan perspective,
I just want to break his face, to be honest. Get him to set the fight. Title's aside.
From a fan
I'll give him
perspective,
the belt after I knock him out. I'll pay the 250 commission for you as well.
so how much does the belt mean to you then, John? Is this like a stepping stone for
I mean,
you?
the belt would be nice just to put on the mantelpiece or whatever, but it's not really about that. It's about taking fights and climbing the rankings.
Yeah.
Get to the real belts.
Okay, so someone asked earlier, what's the 1 year plan for you? So after this July fight, where do you see yourself?
Probably better asking Steve that, to be honest.
I think we'll wait for the result of the fight.
What do you see for the winner, Steve? Right,
I think you've got two different plans. If Dalton happened to win the fight, then I think that he would go straight probably for a southern area, and then try and make his mark through that area. If John won the fight, then I think in reality you'd probably go for another British title eliminator, and then try and go that route. For Dalton, it's easier in the south because when you're in the south, you've got like southern areas that the area titles are easy to win, and they qualify you for an English title. So there's a quick routine. You go and win a southern area, then go to English, and then go to British if you're good enough.
Yeah.
And I think that's an easier system. In Scotland, the Scottish title is a little bit more problematical, so you probably bypass that and go for British.
Okay. How does that sound to you then, John?
That sounds fine.
So, I mean, at super middleweight at the moment, you've got Callum Smith, so presumably he'll be vacating to move on. Yeah. You've got, you say Leon, I suppose, who won the eliminator for it, so that's where you see you want to get moving to.
Ideally for me, it's just I want to settle the score with Leon. Dalton is just irrelevant, really. He's just there. He's just a warm-up for Leon. That's all it is. He can laugh all he wants. He can really laugh all he wants. One McCallum's already beat him. This McCallum's going to retire him. It's as simple as that.
I ain't getting involved. I'm the one in the precarious position. So let's grab some of hello, Team McCallum all the way. Andrew Joycey, give that lady a season ticket. Talking about it.
Thanks, Andrew.
Laura Campbell, go Team McCallum. Bronx Jim, when can we get John Boxing in Scotland? So your last fight was up in Scotland, wasn't it?
It was in Paisley.
Yeah, and that was a knockout win? I can't remember.
No, it was just a points win.
Okay.
Points win.
That was really good. That was by the promoter of that fight,
Colin Belcher.
the Colin Belcher, great man to deal with. There has been resistance to get John up in Scotland for whatever reason. some of the promoters haven't wanted him on.
Yeah.
Or they've wanted him as a short-term opponent for somebody up in Scotland. So there's that's fair, isn't it? There's just been a resistance for whatever reason, I don't know. But Colin Belshaw's a great man. He put him on. I'm sure Colin will have John on again if he wants to go on in Scotland. But for some of the others, it's been a bit more difficult.
Does something like that help you out then, John, in terms of staying busy and keeping in the ring?
Like I just want to fight as much as possible. Like we've even taken fights in Latvia that kicked off as well. Like flew over to Latvia, but I just want to stay busy. To be honest.
Yeah.
So wherever it is,
okay.
Latvia. It's all good.
Anyway, not in this office. If you can,
in this office, outside Dalton.
It's much easier to plan a career for Dalton and people in London than it would be planned for somebody in Scotland. There's a lot more opportunities down south. It's a lot easier for the boxers to build and create the opportunities.
An obvious question for me then: would you ever consider relocating for your career, John? Is that ever something that's occurred? Or?
It's been mentioned and thought about a few times.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You wouldn't rule it out?
I wouldn't rule it out.
Okay.
Especially if I was training for like a big fight, like not a fight like this.
Okay. So I mean, how easy is sparring and stuff to come by?
I've got good sparring in my gym. There's actually a really good boy in my gym called Connor Law. He's pretty sharp, very awkward to catch. So the two of us sort of bounce off each other. We're going to Benidorm. My trainer Stevie Goodwin's taking us to Benidorm.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks before the fight with Dalton, so we've got loads of sparring lined up in Spain.
So it keeps them busy.
Aye.
David Chapman, hope Steve's on the cut of the bar with 200 Scots coming down. Daniel Love, McCallum, make sure you bring your A game into the ring. You're in trouble with all the trash talk, Team Miller all day long. And if you want to mention,
fuck off.
Alright, succinct. Stuart Howe was lucky enough to be at the press conference for Liam and John, and all I'll say is heated. Yeah. For those that haven't seen it, you can still go back and YouTube it and see those two gentlemen discuss stuff. Brad Rogers, this guy is a joker for sure.
Who are you, Brad? Who are you?
Stevie Kerr, Dalton, will you retire if you get beat?
I won't be getting beat, so that's not even on the card.
Okay. Brad Rogers, John got taught a boxing lesson against Leon.
Watch the fight back on YouTube and then comment. We'll be here for another half hour anyway, so.
Willie Quinn, Mighty Quinn, John Boy, all the way.
Cheers, boy.
RJ's, show some class. Daniel Love, haha, that trash talk will stop soon. There you go. So you get a right to reply.
We'll see.
Right, so we've previously done our feature on Hot or Not, so we wanted to change it around in honour of John travelling all the way down from Scotland via bag collection problems and all sorts today. So if he's looking a little bit tired, let him off. We're replacing Hot or Not with Scott or Not.
What?
You have to tell me, are these people Scottish or not? We're starting off, we've got Sheena Easton. Come on, John.
Easton. Aye, that's his Scottish, aye.
Ah, she is. Well done.
What's she famous for?
I don't know, all the way on
She sang a James Bond movie theme song.
Ah, there you go. There you go. Can you name this man? No. David Tennant, former Doctor Who. Scott or not?
Scott.
Aye. It's too good at this.
Well, we know who that is. Nicola Sturgeon.
Nicola Sturgeon.
Bit the paper then. Aye.
Aye, Scottish. Right, we've got a man here.
Nah, he's English.
Ronald McIntosh.
Nah, Scottish surname, but he's English.
Ah, we're trying to get you the surname. Final one, young lady Candice Collier.
She's the one John stalks, is it?
She's the one that tweets me.
If you go back and watch week 1, Candice was on here and revealed that John may or may not have been sending her various messages.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wasn't it?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anything else, I believe. But you denying that?
Not quite.
No comment.
I'll tell you that's a first.
Yeah, after all that we've just heard for the last 10 minutes, we're getting no comment. Right, so we're going to go on now and have our tweet of the week. It's been a quiet week this week. I thought I'd treat you though to Dillian White. So we've seen he's had a bit of back and forth with Del Boy Chisora. he put up a picture of Chisora saying apparently this is a future opponent, a Zimbabwean bin man, don't give up the day job, Delbum. To which Rendell Monroe, the former world title challenger, known as the boxing bin man, put, nothing wrong with being a bin man, bro. Bless him. Good old Rendell.
Chisora's fought at European level and obviously lost that and whatever though, so I thought with now, with Joshua vacating both English and British now, there's plenty of other fighters anyway, so I don't see why Chisora should be in the mix anyway now.
I agree, actually.
I'm looking forward to the White Ellen fight now, if that happens.
That's a good, up in Yorkshire maybe,
Yes.
rumours to be on the undercard of Brooke Vargas if that comes off.
Yeah.
And the final one was posted up today, Carl Froch, 2 years later, and it still feels like yesterday.
79,999.
Yes, a picture of his 80,000 fans, hashtag Wembley Stadium anniversary. Yeah, bless you, Carl. Congratulations on 1 year ago today.
Yawn.
You're not a Froch fan?
No.
No?
No.
How comes?
I just don't particularly like him. Just find him quite arrogant. I don't think he's that good a pundit either.
You're not?
No.
Although...
Well, do you know what gets a lot of stick as well, and says John, I don't know whether John will stick up for him being Scottish, but like, so many people just don't like Jim Watt, but I actually quite like listening to Jim Watt because he talks quite technically, and I actually quite enjoy listening to him. I think he's okay.
What do you reckon, John?
I'm in the minority.
Are you going to stick up for your Scottish Bardro?
No.
No, I agree with you, it's garbage.
Not a fan of Jim Watt. Certainly not a fan of Alex Arthur either, so.
Is that on a personal level we're talking, or?
Maybe.
I was going to say, that's
another story.
To me, the best boxing pundit is Richard Woodall. I think he's excellent, absolutely excellent. It just obviously he's only on like the Channel 5 ones and the less mainstream ones, but I think he's by far the best one.
I do think
he's great.
He's a nice person in terms of.
Yeah, he is.
He comes across.
Yeah.
A very genuine guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of Jim Watt, I'm afraid. I don't think he's useless as a pundit. I'm not much of a fan of Mick Hawlin either, so when the two of them are together, I mute it.
Barry Jones?
I love Barry Jones, I think he's great.
I like Barry Jones.
I think he's the best out there. Yeah, so what we got here? Robert Klein can take the boy out of Southside, but not Southside out of the boy. Brad Rogers, Kevin and Steve, explain to John who I am, please, boys.
If Brad comes, he's got a season ticket and he sits second row and watches all the fights, so he would know. He'd
got a sponsorship banner there as well,
He sponsors, he does some sponsorship with us, so he watches all the fights. So. Does he sponsor Leon as well?
Yeah.
He's a good man.
Oh, so you sponsor Leon? Oh, I know. Enjoy the fight.
He's a good man. Tracy Smith as well said Karina. Dan Lowe, what's next for John after this win?
I think we just covered the eventualities of that.
Joe Taylor, too much trash talk from Jockey. Needs to show the opponent some respect. Hat off to Dalton for not reacting. If Jockey thinks he's taken over York Hall with 200 skirt-clad fans, he's got... I can't even read the rest of that because I actually can't see it. But I think we get the gist of what he's saying there.
When I start, none of us will be wearing scarves.
That's a hell of a stereotype.
Tell him to bring his bird in and we'll show him who's wearing a scarf.
Right, there we go. Right, so we got one more. We got one more final challenge, right? It's been a little bit heated between the two of you. Wanted to, see who's possibly got the better nerve about you between the two of you. We're not doing traditional head-to-head right now. We're going to do something that's a little bit more challenging for both of you. I'm going to have to borrow Kev at this point to help set things up, I suspect. Not something I'm out of favour with. We're going to have a game of pop-up pirates. John versus Dalton. What do you mean no way? What do you mean no way? I'm bottling it, John. I want to see who wins. Pop-up pirates.
One sword each at a time.
One sword each at a time.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the colour.
I want to see who makes this pirate leave his barrel.
I want to see this game.
Who's going to go go into the July fight 1-0 up? Let's roll.
Basically, all you got to do is take a sword and stick it into the hole, one of the holes, Basically, the person that makes the pyro pop up is the loser.
It's losers, so they go. Oh! It's the first round knockout. This is tragic news. I penciled in 8 minutes. Oh no! Unbelievable.
Let's have a rematch.
No rematch.
No rematch. That's it.
That's it. Yeah,
No
you can't
rematch
do it.
clause
Well,
in
that's
that.
it. Well, there you go.
Unbelievable.
It's not fair, but
Unbelievable.
Dalton's from London, he's used to stabbing people.
We were looking at that.
When I was in the Commonwealth Games, I went to some not very nice parts of Glasgow, so I wouldn't be too prejudiced.
Wait. I live in Edinburgh.
Alright, I like Glasgow, Edinburgh, London. I'm sitting on all these fences. John, show the colliers how it's done. Daniel Love, them 200 are going to be disappointed with you.
I'm sure they will be.
Nathan Vice, good to see Dalton Miller up there, guys. Going to be champion, the journey's just begun.
Nice for me.
Stuart Deering, get us a face off, pull his hair, John. Stuart Howe, pop up pirate, shit just got serious. Yeah, over in 1 round. Unbelievable stuff. Ricky Webster, Kev's obviously been playing this during his week off. Yeah, and he's rigged it, so very Look, we're not going to have a header face-off now between the two gentlemen. That's going to be coming up on the Goodwin Boxing YouTube channel in the future. We're going to be heading downstairs very shortly and making it more intimate between the two of them. So wish me luck. But that will be available on the YouTube channel in the near future. In the meantime, we haven't got any more interactions. I want to thank John, especially for coming all the way down from Scotland, because that's a hell of a journey, man. And Dalton for coming up from London, and of course Karina as well for coming from Sheffield. So we've clocked up some serious emissions this week in getting people in. So yeah, sorry to the planet. And yeah, as always, for Steve for joining us. So thank you very much for interacting. Hope you've enjoyed it, and tune in again next week.